I just cleared my throat, forgetting that this was recording.
Oh, yeah?
Just because it's music does not mean you cannot hear what we're doing. Especially you, so settle down.
Ryan, I've got a headline for you.
Well, can I say... You know what? I'm going to interrupt you one time.
Go
real
figure.
fast.
Go
Ladies
ahead.
and gentlemen, tonight, I wanted to say it right out of the gate. It is the season 2 finale.
Unbelievable.
33 episodes for season 1, 33 episodes now for season 2.
It's crazy.
It's not bittersweet. I mean, everyone's like, it's bittersweet. No, it's not. We're going. I mean, this is
So
exciting. This is a good thing. Season 3, not sure what the song's going to be yet.
But it will be fun.
But it'll be fun. And we're going to keep rolling with this thing. So I wanted to mention that. And like always, my man Trey with his headline. Give it to me.
So, Ryan, I have a headline.
So anyway, moving on. No, go ahead. Headline.
Headline, wolf spider lays eggs in man's toe during cruise.
God, so many questions. In a toe.
In a toe.
But like a wound or like in between the toes?
Great question. Of course, the first comment, never sleeping again, new fear unlocked, which, yeah, that would be kind of gross.
Where was the cruise?
Doesn't say.
Okay, Australia probably.
So, of course, one person wrote, and this is kind of a good question. How did the spider even book the cruise? You know, how does that happen? How does that even happen?
That was so stupid. So dumb. God.
Oh my gosh.
That was maybe, Trey, that was maybe the dumbest comment I've ever seen heard on all of your stories. Go ahead.
And then, of course, your question, how did it get in his toe?
Well,
or is it in between?
Right.
Also, yet another reason why I'd never go on a cruise.
But what's wrong with the cruise? It's not the cruise, it's where the cruise is.
So
If you're going on an Australian cruise, you're going to have some shit be everywhere because Australia is fucked.
One
With animals. I love all Australian people.
One lady on here says, I've laid worse things on a cruise.
Okay,
so
I like
makes
that one.
sense.
Okay, that's better than this other stupid one.
Yeah. So anyway, a lot of people talking about I'll never sleep again, how gross, how
So
scary.
the spider, a monkey, wait, what was it called?
A wolf spider.
Wolf spider, not a monkey spider. Is there such thing as a monkey spider?
I don't know.
A wolf spider, which I don't even know what that is, but I'm assuming it's not friendly.
Actually, I don't think they're poisonous. I think they just look scary.
They're just scary.
Yeah, they're big, scary. And I could be wrong on that, but
Right.
you know how we do our research. So
Real fast, I ran into an Australian, what do you call the coffee people that make it?
Rugby.
What?
Huh?
No. There's an Australian lady making my coffee today, my latte. And I've seen her a few times. She's from Australia. And I said, you know what? Is it true that I mean, because I talk shit on my show about Australia and the animals and how big the insects are and how they're in toilets. And she goes, no, it's all true. And I was like, okay, not going there. Like,
See, I've been to Australia, and
said you didn't see anything.
I didn't see one damn insect.
I told her. I said, my buddy said he didn't see anything. And she goes,
I might not even saw a fly.
She goes, I woke up one night and there was a snake coil in my bed. And I was like, that sounds fun.
Holy shit.
She said the spiders get to be a foot.
Maybe certain parts of Australia, maybe.
She's from Melbourne. I don't know where you were. Melbourne's a city. That's what I said. Is this did you live in the outback?
Yeah.
She goes, no, it's all over. Anyway, so yeah, that's gross.
Yep.
Spider lays eggs in the what happened?
Toe.
What you're not giving.
It didn't say that. I never tell you what happens.
Okay, that's just the headline.
That was just a headline.
I think this is the first time I'm kind of like, well, what? Where's the end? Like, did they hatch and they ran all over him and it was weird and tickled?
Well, of course, somebody. This is your comment. Wolf spiders carry their eggs on their backs. This is fake news. These are never fake news, or else I wouldn't be sharing it.
That's cut. No, we can't cut it because it's the music.
And we keep going.
Yeah, no, we'll laugh about this because Trey and I always laugh about when the music's on, be serious. And we weren't right there.
At all.
How is that my joke?
Just the whole fake news thing. I thought it was your.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
That's Donald.
I'm sorry, Ryan.
I'm not a Donald guy, remember?
I didn't mean to loop you into that.
Everyone claims that I'm a Donald guy. And don't worry, we're going to get there.
Well, let's go. Let's get rolling.
That headline was good.
Way to end the season with a bang.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think every single other headline was
That's better.
No, I'm kidding.
I see how it is.
I'm kidding. That was a good headline. I again though, that one I want to know the ending. So that's the only reason it was a bad. Yeah, let's find out what happened. So, did we just go through the whole song?
Yeah, it's that weird little ending thing again.
Oh, good for you, songwriter. Start it over. So let's go straight to Tay Tay Talk. How do you feel about that?
Our girl Tay Tay.
I know people are sick of this, and don't worry, this isn't going to be a forever thing. This is proving my point that
thank God
I can literally every day put in Tay Tay, Taylor Swift news of the day, and it's insane.
I thought you were looking at Taylor Swift nudes of the day.
I don't know. Do you think she looks pretty good?
Oh, she'd have to be. I would think, right? You know, she's probably got her own trainer,
right?
Chef.
That whole thing.
Yeah, lucky.
But if you put in Taylor Swift news of the day, I had, and I kid you not, at least 15 to 20 different articles written today.
Damn.
About news and so forth. So real fast, I'm gonna give you this. At the playoff game, which I don't know whether I wanted the Chiefs to win or not. I'm not sold on whatever, but they won, right?
They did win
on the road, a big win. Apparently, when Travis Kelce caught one of his touchdown passes, he looked up and gave a heart
sign. Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, so everybody saw that. That's not news.
That's not news. I saw that.
It's just stupid.
That's dumb. Do you hear there's talks of him retiring because he's got plans for the future?
Probably an engagement ring and some babies, and we are going to get our prediction correct, don't you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that helps our prediction.
We'll see. I think if they don't win it, he won't retire. I think if they win it, he will.
Well, he said he wants to retire with his brother, too, who officially retired.
That's stupid.
Oh, it's a brotherly thing.
All right, sure. The second one is, this is the funniest one. You're going to get a kick out of this. I promise.
You swear?
There is a wedding in Australia, speaking of.
Hey.
Where the maid-of-honor.
Was Taylor Swift?
No.
Oh.
But the maid-of-honor told the bride that she would not be able to attend the wedding because she was going to go to Taylor Swift concert.
Holy shit.
This was back. I didn't even know they did this anymore. The radio show called the bride to give her the info, and I think Howard used to do this back in the day where you'd have one, you'd call and talk about it. So of course the bride's like, is this a joke? Are you serious? And the bridesmaid goes, I know I sound like a bad friend.
You think?
A little bit. But what I thought was funny, it's the bridesmaid said, because the host of this show asked her, is there any chance that you would just kind of be like, all right, fine, I made a mistake. I'm gonna go. And she said, absolutely not. Going to Taylor Swift's concert is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
As opposed to her best friend's wedding. Well, I mean, I've gone through two, so I mean, I guess she may not be wrong. Well, that's true.
Maybe the next one, Taylor won't have it scheduled on the same day.
Well, in all fairness, when did she buy the tickets? I mean, how far in advance? Because those tickets aren't cheap, are they?
Apparently, she bought them before Christmas, but you would think that she would have known she was the maid of honor before that.
So whose fault was it really then?
It's still the maid of honor. Look, you sell your tickets and you go to your best friend's. You're the maid of honor.
Okay, listen. Okay, what about your teams in the Super Bowl?
I would not go to. No,
you wouldn't go to the Super Bowl.
It's Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is guaranteed to go back on tour. 99%.
Let's say I get married a third time, Ryan, and unfortunately we schedule it on Super Bowl Sunday.
But you wouldn't do that.
Steelers are in the Super Bowl. Hey, you know we don't have a choice in that shit.
That's true.
So Steelers are in the Super Bowl, and we're saying that for whatever reason Pittsburgh is hosting the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So Steelers are in the Super Bowl. Boom. Are you coming to my wedding or are you going to the
Your
Steelers
wedding.
Super Bowl? You're still coming to my wedding?
Yeah, absolutely.
You already bought Steelers Super Bowl tickets? You're still coming to my wedding?
Yeah. You know why? Because first off, I didn't come to your first two. So there's a lot more pressure. And for everybody, fuck you. There were a lot of reasons. It wasn't just like I chose not to go.
Fuck you.
But no, I think that first off, you wouldn't have scheduled it. And second off, you and I could come to some sort of... You'd be like,
you'd probably have an extra ticket, can I go with you?
Yeah, I'd be like, fuck this. Yeah.
Babe, I promise I'll be there on time.
I thought that one was funny.
Yeah, that's good.
The bridesmaid's like, no, I'm going to go to Taylor. The third one is interesting because it is about what we're going to talk about, which is the election coming up. Taylor Swift has brought a lot of awareness to voting and to
That's good.
The election. It is and it isn't. The good part is that she's brought awareness to voting. The bad part is that she's spewing off shit she doesn't know anything about. Swifties, come at me. I would love for you to be my butthurt comment of the show, because she doesn't know shit. She just doesn't. She's a performer. She has no more qualification than you or myself to sit here and talk politics. She's allowed to vote how she wants, and she can say that. The problem is when she's bringing millions of young 18-year-olds and people who aren't registered 19, 20, whatever year olds, and they're just going to listen to whoever she's voting for. That's a problem.
Yeah.
They need to know what they're voting for. I mean, look, take some time, and if you come to the conclusion that who Taylor votes for is who you want, great. But how many percentage, what percentage would you think, Trey, of people who strictly said, Taylor said to go vote, so I'm going to go vote, do you think would vote against what she's doing?
Not many.
Probably not many.
Well, let me ask you,
That's my point.
Which one's worse? The kids these days growing up just to follow a pop star and follow her beliefs and follow her, choices and stuff like that? Do you think that's worse? Or Taylor pushing these young voters to vote for?
Okay, say it again.
Which one's worse? Kids these days that are growing up to follow a pop star's lead as far as who to vote for, how to do things, and stuff, or just Taylor Swift constantly pushing.
But she's pushing a certain
right. That's
agenda.
What I'm saying.
She's not pushing voting necessarily.
So which one's really worse? So she's pushing her agenda, or the kids that are just following the pop star and doing what the pop star does?
It's the same thing in this case.
Don't
you think?
Well,
anyway,
I can understand liking a pop star and not doing everything she does just because.
Yeah, but I don't. You're not a Swiftie.
Oh, gotcha.
Do you really think a lot of these Taylor Swift psychos? Did I say? I meant.
Once I get my friendship bracelet,
listeners,
y'all,
or Swiftie fans, I can't imagine they would be like, you know what, Taylor's going to vote for Joe Biden, so I'm going to go ahead and vote for Donald Trump. I just can't imagine that they would do that because they love her so much and they wouldn't want to go against her. I'm guaranteeing you that percentage. I'll say 99%. I wouldn't even. I would think one of them would do it just because maybe their parents made them. I mean, it's that.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Which one do you think would be a closer election? Biden versus Trump or Swift versus Trump?
It would not be close. Taylor Swift would have no shot. She's just a pop star and she's silly. She's not silly. I still want to know.
Think she would get more votes than Biden?
I still want to know what her sexual position preference is. She would not get more votes than Biden. I think the fair question would be Taylor Swift versus who's like a male or a female that's just as big. There aren't a lot. I mentioned Justin Timberlake, and I thought we talked about him last show.
The Rock.
God.
He's pretty big.
Can you imagine The Rock running? He's up there.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I know. You think so. You'd be front row at all his rallies with the sign.
Let's go Rock.
You're my rock.
Let's go Rock.
You're my rock.
You're my rock.
You're my rock.
That would be something cheesy, I would say.
No, I don't think Taylor could actually win anything. I think Donald. Speaking of Donald, by the way, update, and you won't hear this right away, but he knocked out the Iowa caucus like that, And
The what?
The Iowa caucus.
There we go.
Is that more your language?
Yes. Now I understand.
Well, they did the New Hampshire one tonight, and he won that one too. And everybody's dropping out like flies now because they're seeing that they're
not even close.
And they're endorsing him, which is interesting. So you've got your friend, your lovely lady friend, Rhonda.
Rhonda, yeah. She already dropped out.
Just kidding. His name is Ron DeSantis.
Oh.
And he dropped
You say
out,
so.
which I was surprised he dropped out so quickly. Vivek Ramaswamy dropped out. And yes.
Bless you.
That is his name.
Oh.
That's why I was kind of rooting for him. I wanted to say that every day.
President Ramaswamy.
Today, President Ramaswamy said follow. But he dropped out, and they're all endorsing Donald because guess what? That's what you do. You get together and you say, "Hey, we people are wanting Donald. Let's get behind him." So that's what they're doing. And he won tonight in New Hampshire, and it's just continuing. And I can just feel the left and the liberal buttholes perking up. I can just feel it because they're just, and that leads me to what we'll end up talking about here in a second, which is butthurt comments of the show.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm going to go right into it. And tonight, a lot of it's going to be about, some of it's going to be about this, but a lot of it's going to be about race. How do you feel about that? Does that make you uncomfortable to continue to talk about that?
Like a foot race?
No,
Or-
not at all. Not even a little bit. Racial issues in this country.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. First, we'll talk about the Trump stuff. So when we put up videos, clips,
Was he in a race?
he did. He ran. Can you imagine if the presidency was decided by a race between Joe Biden and Donald?
Holy shit, that would be
I would
awesome.
be front row. with
Hell
fucking
yes.
cold beer and a hot dog. You
Oh
and I
my
would be like,
God.
fucking- we get box seats for that.
Can you imagine the oxygen machines at the end?
God. The outfits, the fucking
The little shorts.
knee socks. and
Yes, holy. That would
Biden's
be
got his
great.
pudding on the side. So
You see Mrs. Biden run down the side with the pudding.
okay, so before we get to that, real quick, we did a thing. Maybe I should talk about the Trump stuff first, since we're there, because we did a bit about how Brad and Chad, we were called Brad and Chad
Right.
on this show.
Because
is
we're toxic.
We're toxic. It's a derogatory way to say like white frat boyish. Who cares? We're toxic. We blah blah blah, and we were called that. So we embraced it on the last show, and 2 shows ago we dressed the part. Blah blah blah. And so a lot of comments came in on that, and those are funny, and I'll read some of those. But let's go to the political ones first, because I also did a bit where I said Trump and Biden have different followers. So the people that are anti-Trump are the ones that absolutely, utterly, and I said this, and I stand behind it, are hate-filled, violent. They want Trump. They literally would dance in the streets if he died. I mean, I really feel that way.
That's crazy.
I just feel that way because I don't understand why it's got to that extreme. You can I look at people in the news and I'm like, oh, they annoy the shit out of me. I don't want them to die. And I've heard so many people say, I want him dead. I want him locked up in prison forever. I want him whatever. And they don't know shit, but that's just what they want. And the other side of it, and I mentioned this on the last show, and I put it out there, was the anti-Biden or pro-Trump or whatever, they'll throw a comment out there. It's like, MAGA 2024, baby, here we go. You're voting for Biden? Well, that's kind of dumb. Let's go have a beer and talk about it. And there is a difference. And I tell you what, Trey, when I put that up, the comment section
Proved it.
I mean, it like to a T. I mean, it wasn't even, there was no debate on whether I was right or wrong about that. And I'll start. Would you like me to start?
Well, was there this much hate towards Trump before he started running for office?
No.
I don't even remember this much hate the first time he ran for office.
Was
there?
It was close. It was close. It was just this idea that this guy who wasn't going to take shit, he wasn't going to put up with anything. He says stuff. He's mean, quote unquote. He tweets. If somebody calls him something, he's not going to sit there and take it like a lot of other politicians would and just say, like we're supposed to probably do on our show.
Yeah.
I respond to everybody, fuck you. And that's Trump. Honestly, somebody says something, he's like, fuck you. And he'll do it in different ways, and he'll say this and that. There was a divisive moment in our country. I believe it was under the reign. I hate to say that; it sounds like a dictator. The presidency of Barack Obama. Mm-hmm. I believe that he did some identity politics that made people believe that they were victims, and it caused this division. That's a topic for another show. Season 3, baby. Here we go.
Gotcha.
But it was already starting to be divided. Trump comes in, and he's a very abrasive, a
little bit, yeah,
very divisive guy, just on his own. But that doesn't mean that he's not the guy. It doesn't mean he's whatever. It just means that's who he is. And so people, for some reason, just latched onto this idea of like hatred for this. This is the side that says everybody needs to be tolerant of trans, tolerant of gays, tolerant of everybody. But as soon as you vote for Donald Trump, you are no longer in that category. There's no tolerance for you. You need to die. And I saw plenty of evidence of that. So don't tell me I'm wrong. Let's jump right in here. The first comment was Trump suckers can shove off. Okay, fair enough.
That's not very nice.
It's not very nice. I said interesting point, lots of substance. Watch him spew on about the election. Some of this England, people don't understand.
That you or
no?
Trump?
This is the comments. The top secret documents, blah blah blah, and the bill, and he lies, and it makes no sense. But they're basically bashing Trump. Trump spreads too many lies. I wish Trump wasn't on the news so much. He's poisoning people's brains with this bullshit. He should be locked up in prison. Fair enough. But at the same time, there's this like...
Isn't Biden's son doing some fucked up shit right now?
Well, of course. But no one wants to talk about that.
Oh.
Here's a good one. The last couple sucked. Here's a good one. Dude, get your head out of your bunghole.
Bunghole, I like it.
Yeah, there you go. Little Beavis and Butthead. Trump and all his cronies lie! Exclamation point. They tell mistruths. MSNBC. This is the comment. This was a response to my MSNBC. I was frustrated that they didn't show his speech like chickens. They're scared of him, and it shows. And again, this is coming from two guys on a podcast that we're not pro-Trump. We're not going to sit here and like lick his balls. We're going to say, hey...
Speak for yourself.
This image of you licking his balls. but we're not those guys, but we're also going to sit here and we're going to call you out for this bullshit. Unlike Fox and CNN are not interested in spreading propaganda, not interested in being sowed. In order to broadcast these guys is to promote provable mistruths. If people think they can write, they don't know what they don't know how to write. Basically, what they're saying is that Trump lies, and NBC said he lies, so we're not going to air it. Well, how do you know that's a lie? Just because you claim it is?
And why don't I get a choice to see what he says to determine whether I believe it or not?
I'm glad you asked that, Trey.
Okay.
Because that was what I said to most of these people was like...
You write it down to ask you that.
I'm glad you asked me what I had you write down. Because most of these people have this mindset, and that's what I kept saying was like, look, you're saying that these are facts, and they're not. You can't sit here and tell me that and tell me how to believe. It's just, it's hypocritical, and we all know in this show, anybody that actually listens, that I hate hypocrisy. Right, Trey?
We do know that.
Yes. Okay. How about 99% of what bone spurs Trump, which is a reference to him trying to avoid the war, which was actually legitimate. 99% of what bone spurs Trump says is a blatant lie. That's not an opinion. It's a fact. 99%, huh, is a fact that he lies. 99% of everything that comes out of his mouth is a lie. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, percentage-wise, and anyway.
So it's easy for these people to come out saying you're a liar.
Yeah.
Why don't they give, here's where he lied.
Yeah.
Here's where it shows he lied.
Because they don't have it. No, you and Trump don't get to decide. So now I'm with
You're
Trump.
deciding?
I'm with Trump.
Holy shit.
You and Trump don't get to decide what is fact and what isn't. But apparently this person does.
Gotcha.
Right?
So we need to reach out to them next time.
Understand Trump has lied provable, which, again, work on your sentence structure.
That was
over
my comment.
35,000 has lied over 35,000 times. Why?
35,000
that number, 35,000 times. Just when he was president. And the man that sues everyone didn't sue the Washington Post because the lying piece of shit knows that the only thing this stands up in court are provable facts.
Holy shit.
I mean, it's just these people are so fucking stupid.
They're getting feisty too.
And I don't mean to. Well, I do mean to tell them that. Because if you're listening, I hate to tell you that you're stupid. I really do. But if you believe what this person just said, then keep listening. But you're stupid.
But keep listening.
Keep listening. Of course. All he does is lie. The propaganda. I mean, it's just either something's true or it's not. Just because this is my favorite. Just because you don't want to believe something doesn't make it any less true. And so I put in quotes. Just because you don't want to believe something doesn't make it any less true. See how I flipped it on you? Like it's the exact same fucking thing.
It is.
I'm in a hurry because there's so many of this bullshit. There's
so many.
Bullshit. No, because what he lies about is demonstrably untrue.
Are we still under the Butthurt Comments?
Yeah. JFC, which I imagine means Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, I like
these
it.
poor Trump cultists. Which, by the way, not once did we mention in the clip that we were supportive of Donald Trump. What are we going to do with them? Okay, well that's okay, fair enough. This is what, and then we'll kind of end. I mean, there's a ton of these. Commie, draft dodger, blah 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 blah. Does Fox News give a Democrat unfiltered live platform? Yes, they do. And I will tell you that right now on our show. I've seen it. They do it. They give Democrats. Guarantee you, if it was Joe Biden that had won that caucus event, the election, whatever we want to call it, and he was giving a speech, Fox would have it on there. They may not like it, but they will air it.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. I've seen it with my own eyes. So this person's a dumb shit. At Christian Castillo 9133, you're a dumb shit. I should list all these fuckers out and just do our whole season 2 ending show. Just fucking assholes.
Closing credits.
All right, let's move on real quick to the next topic of the Butthurt Comments. It won't be this long. These are the ones where I said Chad and Brad. They use white in the description. We're white, frat boyish douchebags. It's kind of the summation, right?
Yeah.
We are white.
We're douchebags.
We're not frat boys. Douche me sometimes. But we talked about how if we had said like Juan and Jose or
something like that, yeah.
Or Terrell, Jamal and something else. And Tyrone, because, by the way, everybody, there's like 8 people that are like, Tyrone's not only a black name, and a lot of people came to our defense, so I'm confident that we did that right. But this one lovely black woman, her name is at a Sweet Tea 227.
Okay.
She said, you both want to say the N-word so bad.
What?
Say it then, publicly, with a bunch of fireworks.
Why would we want to say the N-word?
At what point in that clip did she get that? In fact, we gave the Mexican example first. It wasn't even about and this is part of my issue, and I've said it before, is I think a lot of black people tend to make themselves the victim first. This wasn't even about black people; it's about everybody.
We're just saying, if we were willing to embrace it and have fun with it,
why can't everybody else? Right?
If it was mentioned in other races, would it be just as fun and playful, or were people going to be upset about it? So,
but what does that have to do with us wanting to say the N-word?
Right. I don't get that.
And that's my point, is this lovely lady decided it's just an opportunity for her to, I don't know. Anyway, I said that's quite an accusation, but whatever.
That is, it's pretty mean.
And then you get all this is a load of shit. Tyrone's on would you stop it already? A victim mentality. I mean, it's just like, this is the best comment, and then we'll move on. As a Juan or Jose, I think you're being pretty chat about this.
As a Juan or Jose?
I think you're being pretty chat about this. So it was a Mexican reply.
Oh, okay.
I thought
that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny. And I said, I love this comment. This is what we want. Thank you. So there you go. Butthurt comments of the show, and there are a lot of them. And it seems like anytime we talk about race or politics, right, Trey? So let's talk about some race.
Oh, God.
I gave you a slight recap on the Brad and Chad race thing, and I don't understand why this is so hard to comprehend from our standpoint as white males. What I've heard from a lot of people, and what I'll get to in a second, in fact, I'll just get to it now. A friend of mine, lovely woman, I won't give her name. You never know if people want their names given, but I won't give her name, but she's from Poland. And I met her while living in Scotland. I've talked about her before on the show a long time ago, hoping that she was one of our 4 Polish listeners.
Okay. Which she wasn't.
Which I don't think she was, but now apparently she's kind of tuning in. And she claims, and I believe her, because I think she's a very intelligent woman, that she's studied kind of race and race tension and race in society, and
this all over the world, or
all over the world.
Okay,
because that's why it's so interesting to me, because I told her, I said, you're across the pond, the Atlantic from us, and with all due respect, it's really hard for somebody over there to understand what's happening here.
Yeah, our
country is fucked in so many ways and divided in so many ways, and a lot of it is race. And for you to quote unquote study it is very interesting to me. I want to listen. That's what we do, right?
Right.
That's the whole point of the show.
That is it.
So listen.
Yeah.
And so she gave me a big spiel, and the most noticeable thing was what I actually said the last show, which was, people claim that we as white guys, it's easy for us to laugh at a Chad and Brad than it is for somebody like a black person, especially this Sweet Tea 227. To laugh about a Jamal and a Tyrone, or a Juan and a Jose. And I thought about that for a little while, and I said, I guess I get that to a point.
Yeah.
But why? And her comment was, people in groups of power from history, which she's claiming are white males.
Majority white males, which, by the way, I don't agree with her for the world. I think in the Western civilization, obviously in the last 500, 2,000 years, it's probably accurate. But go beyond that. I mean, go all over the world, it's not true. I mean, not a lot of white domination, and well, I was going to say Africa, but there was the British. This isn't a history show, Trey. Thank God.
Thank God. Can you imagine? But that was the point, was that it's easier for us to take. And my comment was, so does that mean we're fair game? Does that mean somebody can just insult us? We should be able to take it because our people, if you want to call them that, have been better at being in control, have been successful in power. People don't like when I say those things, but it's true. It's just true. Why are people so mad at white males? Because they've been successful in leadership and power. So all of a sudden, are we fair game? That's my question to you. Are we fair game? Can anybody sit here and go, Chad and Brad, and then can they keep going and say all these things about white people, and we're supposed to just be like, oh yeah, we're the ones in power, so it's funny. I mean, no, yes, maybe. The other races, are they in the clear?
I mean, I guess it doesn't bother me, but I understand why I'm fair game, you know?
You're right.
So
what I get from that is, and it's a great point, is good job.
Did I make a point?
You did. You made a great point.
Okay. I'm thinking, what did I just say?
Is that just because positions of power have been white males traditionally, especially in this country, I get it, but that's the way it went.
It's not my fault.
It's not our fault. Doesn't mean that all white males have been in that position. In fact, you and I, if you want to get down to brass tacks, when we were 20 years old, we worked for our manager. When we worked together, was a woman. That's the opposite.
That poor lady.
Yeah, she.
Can I ask you a quick question? I don't know why it just popped in my head. And
hurry, we have a time limit tonight.
So just because I was assigned as a white man when I was born, why is that held against me?
That's true, and that's what's happening now. At the time, apparently, according to other people, you were one of the lucky ones, and I don't disagree. To a point, I'm lucky. That we're not dealing with a lot of what other people have had to deal with. But the point is now you're expecting everybody to come together. You're expecting everybody to stop insulting other people, but except for us. So we're okay.
What is it?
We should just brush it off because in the past we haven't dealt with it before. I said it last show. I'll say it again. You bring everybody else up, but you don't bring somebody down in order to bring other people up.
That's a good point.
Don't bring white males down just to bring you up. How about we just stay where we are and bring everybody equal?
Yeah.
That's a good point, right? I'm going to give. I'm going to
good point.
check.
High five.
I'm going to mark that one down. Hashtag something. That's a lot of hashtag. Go ahead.
I'm just sitting here thinking about how my childhood and everything, and obviously I was lucky enough to say I didn't go without, but I can't say that we didn't go through struggles. So it's like, what makes your struggle worse than my struggle just because of race?
Right.
I don't get it. So.
Right, and that's the point. And then the other races will say it's that when you walk down the street, you're not looked at, and then it gets into all that bullshit. You're not looked at negatively, and but it's all that. But there are programs that have been there are hundreds of programs for minorities over the last 30 or 40 years to help that white people don't get. So just let's get over it. Let's move on. Let's come together. And I'm willing to help, but. Just call me Chad and Brad and I'll laugh, but let's don't come to me when I suggest that, hey, if I did it the other way, you might not take it okay.
Right.
And that's what happened. Real fast, I have a couple of questions for you when it comes to this country, when it comes to some questions here. I'm going to ask you and you're going to give me an answer, and I'm going to see how close you are to the actual answer. How about that?
Oh, shit.
What percentage of this country is black?
35%.
It's close to what normal people are saying. 41% is what everybody says. Guess what the answer is?
What's the answer?
12.
Really?
I thought it was 13.
Is that including
12.
mixed race and everything?
I don't know, Trey.
Oh, okay.
You're making it complicated. Maybe. Who knows? But bottom line is
12% of Americans.
Black Americans are 12%. That's it. Okay?
Wow.
And I love all of you black listeners, unless you've hurt me, which I haven't had it. Please don't. Or any other race, don't hurt me. Oh, God.
Keep going.
Yeah. So 12%, that's the point.
Wow.
Is that people think that. And so something like that, I would say when people go, well, there were only, all the Friends characters were all white. Well, that was 6 people in a country where 12% are black. Is it necessary there has to be 1 of 6 or 2 of 6 or whatever? I mean, what percentage of marriages are mixed race?
Oh, in America.
In America.
25%.
1%.
Really?
People answered 50. 50, which I think
That's high.
I think that's stupid. 25 would make sense, but that's still high. It's just
1%.
You see it 1%, but man, 336 million in this country. 300.
I guess that's
something
yeah.
like that. And so 1%, that's still a lot of fucking people.
Yeah.
What percentage is Latino?
So 12% will go 10%.
Okay, well, see, now you're going low.
Trying to think.
Now it's 17.
Oh, okay.
But people say 39. And that's because California, the West Coast, Texas, all that, you have a lot of Latino people.
Gotcha.
But it's still not what it, how many families, this is a little different. How many families make more than $500,000 a year?
Ooh, I'm going to say in America, 5%.
You're good. People say 26%. Really? In case you missed that was really? The actual is 1%.
Wow.
Make over 500,000, and that's why people say the top 2%, top 1%. What percentage are vegetarians?
Holy crap. If we're going
Vegetarian, not vegan. Vegetarians, just no meat.
8%.
You're getting good. I'm impressed. The response is 30%. The actual is 5%.
Okay.
So there you go. People just okay. Let me finish real fast, and I'll tell you my point. What percentage live in New York?
Oh, I'll say 40%.
And see, that's the thing is people. It's so big. People say 30. It's 3%. That's it.
Live in New York?
That's it.
Wow.
New York
How
City.
many have
New York
7-inch
penises?
feet?
Oh, feet.
Go ahead.
What percentage of American, this is the last one, is transgender?
Oh, 0.5%?
There it is. You got it on the dot.
Wow.
0.5%. People say 22%.
Really?
This
Do they
is
not
the
know how many
problem.
people live in America?
And this is, well, the point of this article was that the media is, you would think, based on statistics from watching commercials, watching shows. Now, every commercial's got a mixed race, which is, again, nothing wrong with that. But every commercial, they're forcing it. Every show now, oh, somebody's trans, or somebody's this, or somebody's that, or
has a gay couple.
there's gay
or
couples,
something.
and this, and that's fine. But they're forcing it, and they're making it unrealistic to the actual percentages. And like I've always said, this country is still 67% white. So to sit here and say, oh, white people, we matter. We do. We're 67%. You need us to listen. And if you bash us, I don't feel like listening. Do you?
That's a good point. I just wanted to matter. That's all.
Well, but that's what I say to people. I was like, look, when we talked about abortion, everybody's like, you have no say because you have a penis. You need us to listen. You need us to understand, and you need us to help you. By telling us to fuck off, it's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
At all, but make me not want to help you.
Right.
And that's the same thing here with the race thing. I'm a white guy. You're telling me to fuck off because I'm white. Okay, well, fuck you. Why do I want to help anymore?
Right.
I wanted to help. I've always been that guy, and it's getting a little wearing. I mean, we can laugh about Brad and Chad, but it goes deeper. So the last thing I want to mention real fast before we move on is the new coach of the New England Patriots. Have you heard this?
Mr. Mayo.
Jerod Mayo.
Yeah.
Ironic. The name Mayo. I had to say it. He came out, and Robert Kraft, who is the owner of the New England Patriots, who hired this guy, he said, I'm really colorblind. By the way, NFL football team, people that don't know, New England Patriots, Belichick, the best coach in probably history, left. New coach comes in.
Right.
And the owner, one of the most famous owner families, the Krafts, behind probably the Rooneys for the Steelers. Kraft said, I'm really colorblind. I know what it feels like on Sunday when we lose. And I don't care whether we lose and our coach is white or black. He happens to be the best man of. He happens to be a man of color. I chose him because I believe he's the best to do the job.
Okay.
I respect and admire that. That's the way it should be, right? That's the way this country is striving to be.
Do we know what the question was when he was answering something like that, as far as why he had to reference to color?
Well, that's the point, though, is that he's the first.
Or the fact he doesn't see color.
He's the first New England Patriots coach who's black.
Okay, gotcha.
So I think it was I don't know honestly how it started.
Oh, okay.
The bottom line is that you would think that a coach that just got hired by this guy would go, yeah, whatever, I agree. And he didn't. He turned around and he said, you know what? I do see color. Because I believe if you don't see color, you can't see the racism. And for me, and I know that you sat there for a second, you were kind of quiet. I don't know how much I agree with that comment, because I think if you don't see color, like Kraft is saying, especially with children who are growing up who have no clue, if we could just have a generation that grows up without this bullshit being forced down their throat, then maybe they wouldn't see color. But this coach is now saying, I do see color because I want to. It's almost like I want to look for it. It's out there. Let's go get it. Let's go find it. When everybody else, not everybody, but a lot of people are sitting here going, man, let's just all hang out and fucking party. And I keep hitting the mic. Let's go out. Let's party and let's do our thing. And who cares if you're black or Mexican or whatever. But they keep bringing it up.
Well, I did hear his comments, and he did mention later on in there that if you can't see color, then you can't understand where that person has been what that person's been through.
Okay.
So in one aspect, I understand maybe it would be easier if we didn't see color, because then, if you're putting down on forms or, on an application, we don't see, all we're looking at is qualifications. I get that aspect of that. Gets rid of race. I would think that would help get rid of racism if we stop mentioning it. But I see his point a little bit as far as, okay, if you want to understand where they came from. But I would just think, go to them as a friend and discuss, okay, what have you had to go through? Have you had to go through any struggles and stuff like that? Has anybody sat down and had that conversation? Maybe that's what he's trying to say, is if I don't see that he's different than I am, then I won't know what kind of struggles he's been through.
Well, that's some deep shit, Trey. I mean, good for you.
That may be where he was going
coming
with that.
from your side of the desk here. That's intense. No, I get that, and I agree with it, and that's why Trey and I always say, just talk. Let's talk.
Yeah. But that could go in any direction. I mean, you may see a guy in a wheelchair. You may see, somebody that's handicapped in another way, whatever. I don't know why I'm going with just handicapped people. But
go ahead. What other way?
So
what other way?
I mean,
Trey?
you may see a guy that's 7 feet tall. You may see a guy that's 4 feet tall.
No, let's talk about the handicap.
So anyway, I guess I didn't have to necessarily be just race, though. It can be just any aspect of somebody's life. So
yeah, I'm going to think about it some more. It's frustrating to me because everybody said, there are a lot of people that say we don't need to see color, and this guy comes out and says, no, I'm going to see color. And so you go, all right, well, are you just lighting a fire? Or are you trying to be like this badass? Or are you just whatever?
Yeah. Your
boss, literally one of the most popular owners in all of NFL football, says, hey, I don't see color. That's why.
I think he's popular at the massage parlor.
That's why. That's another story. I think we actually did that story a long time ago. But he comes out and says, I don't see color. He hired you, dude.
Yeah.
So he doesn't see color. He didn't not hire you because you're, in my favorite team, I'm a Steeler fan. We have a black coach, Mike Tomlin. And we've dealt with some of those issues early on in questioning. And it shouldn't be. It should be about who's best for the job. And an example of that is this article I read, and this is going to be very fast. because Trey has something he really wants to talk about. There is an article I read by this black woman. I'm sure she's lovely. And she said, it is time to end the all-male, all-white pilots in the airline industry. And it goes on and talks about this and how hard it is to get this and that, whatever. And I'm okay. This is the one time, Trey, I wish we had Timmy, our pilot friend here.
Right.
The one time that I am okay with racism. Because if you're not the best pilot and the best pilots are white and male, I want them in the cockpit.
Regardless
or what's
of
it
race.
called? What the fuck is Tim call it? The flight deck. Or
Flight deck.
shit.
Sure, yeah.
I want either way. I want them behind.
I just want the most qualified. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't care what the color is.
Look. If you're a black woman and a Saudi Arabian woman, and you're the best pilots, get the hell in there and let's do this thing, because I don't love to fly.
Wait a minute, did you say a Saudi Arabian pilot? What if it's an Asian?
That
woman?
was
You've
actually
seen them drive.
the Saudi Arabian thing. That was like, I didn't even mean to say that.
Yeah, you probably. What about an Asian woman? You've seen them drive.
Sure.
She can them drive a car.
She can be the co-pilot. She can let the steward. Did I say stewardess? The flight attendant know when they're ready for their meals.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying. Look, this is my point. It needs to be about qualifications to a point, and let's stop worrying so much, especially when it comes to jobs like that where people's lives are in the line. And maybe you can step back and go, hey, right, as of now, white males, they're our guys. Let's do this.
Back to Mayo, he was actually part of the succession plan to jump in there once Belichick was gone. So this was not just hey, let's hire him.
Oh,
he was planned to take over for Belichick.
And now
when
he's
he finally,
acting like
now,
this is okay.
So this was a plan all along for him to take over as head coach once Belichick left. So.
Well, I'll be interested to see kind of how he does and how, white guys on his team respond, and if this goes any further. I mean, again, it's probably not a big deal, but I just found it interesting that literally the same day the owner said one thing and the coach said almost countered him, and especially against the Crafts. So enough race for tonight. There's so much, and we're gonna keep talking about it because it's just out there, and there's always stories about it. But I'm just, God, Trey, I'm gonna let you go because Trey came in here and we almost fist fought because he was so excited to talk about a document. Is it a documentary?
It's a documentary.
Okay, go ahead. Let's talk about this fucking show.
About a young lady by the name of Denise.
You don't even know. You don't even know the name.
I've got her name right here. I think. Denise Haskins.
What's the name of the show?
Her boyfriend Aaron Quinn. Anyway, it was a documentary on Netflix.
What's it called?
American Nightmare.
American Nightmare on Netflix.
On Netflix.
It's documentary.
Yes, it's a three episode series.
3 whole episodes.
3 whole episodes.
Okay.
It's about a young lady that gets kidnapped out of a home. Okay. First episode, they really focus on the boyfriend, and to the point where the detective sits there and says, I'm going to prove that you murdered her, that you killed that woman and you ditched the body.
This is the detective.
Okay. So this man, wakes up, girlfriend is kidnapped, tells his crazy story about guys in wetsuits. They put goggles over his eyes, headphones over his ears, all this stuff. Detective thinks he's full of shit. So anyway, he's like, but the cops are going to help me out. I'm going to the cops, and all the cops do in this first episode is basically tell him what a lying asshole he is. Second episode, the girlfriend shows back up. The kidnappers decide to let her go. Well, what's going on there? The girlfriend reiterates the same story the boyfriend told, but now she's a liar. There's no way this could have happened. There's nothing. She's lying the whole time.
And that's obvious.
Right. And this story was so crazy that this is a hoax. The cops are like, we're not even going to look into this. FBI, this is a hoax. So then you get to episode 3, which I'm not going to tell you, but it is phenomenal.
Yeah, I don't think you should. I mean, I think people who are, excited about watching this documentary have already been like, well, fuck.
Well, no, I didn't mess anything up. I mean,
okay.
it's so I'm not going to say what happens.
Fair enough. I'm not going to lie
So-
because I'm not going to watch it because I'm not really a documentary court case kind of guy.
But there's definitely some fun twists that keep you going all the
So
way through episode 3.
And I'm not going to lie to you. My wife was all excited about this show as well, and I had to hear this spiel twice.
Yes.
One from her and once from you. And it was season 1 was one way, and season 2 you're going, holy shit, how did I even think this way on season 1?
Yes.
Because now it makes more sense here. And then of course season 3, the finale.
The episode 3, yeah.
Episode 3, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Really wraps it up in a weird way.
It does, yeah.
So go watch this, and it's called what?
American Nightmare.
American Nightmare. And tell us what you think. I don't care.
That's what you think
about it at all.
don't.
I'm probably going to
I
watch
really don't
some
care.
sci-fi stuff and some sports. That's kind of my deal.
Well, I thought it was a good show.
And reruns. No. Look, I can't. Look, my wife loves these courtroom dramas and courtroom documentaries and stuff. So she's all about it. So I can't argue with you there. So awesome. Let's do that. Let's do trending topics real fast.
Done.
What do you think? Trending Dayton. Hold on. Let me refresh. That wasn't to the moment. I like to call this to the moment. This was 2 moments ago. Let's go. Oh, it changed. Look at this. Trending no one wants to admit. Whatever the hell that means. Trending resigned. Ooh.
Oh.
But that's trending with Carrie Lake, and I don't know who that is.
Is that Ricky Lake?
Trending Maddow, which is the
Maddow.
MSNBC girl that I talked about that looks like Harry Potter.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That said this, we're not going to show Trump's thing.
Yeah. Did she wave the wand too?
Maybe. So we already talked about her a bit, and that pissed some people off. George Santos, that asshole.
Is that the
who am I
mint
thinking
maker?
of? No, I'm thinking of Soros.
Is that the mints?
I don't know who Santos is, but I apologize because I was thinking of George Soros or something. Go ahead. I have no idea who George Santos is. Do you?
I don't.
This may be a quick trending topics. Minneapolis. Well, we do know what that is.
Yeah.
That's a
the
city.
Twins play there. The Vikings.
All that.
Timberwolves. Yeah. I've been there.
Trending. Marianne Williamson. Do you know who that is?
I think I went to junior high with her.
She's now in politics.
Oh,
apparently.
cool. Okay.
Let's give her a call. Another politics. Dean Phillips.
High school.
All of the politicians went to your high school.
We had a good debate team.
Politics. Vermin Supreme.
Vermin Supreme. I think that was
No
a
idea.
pizza.
Was that the, the type of pizza?
Extra meats.
It's a local
Yeah.
roadkill, like vermin.
That's
like
what they served in our cafeteria.
sports. Max Player. Who's that?
Max
Is he
Player.
that a golfer? Max Player. No, that's Gary Player. He was a long time ago.
Player. I
Max
don't know.
Player. Britt Hume, which is a Fox analyst.
Analyst, okay.
Okay. And lastly, politics trending. God bless Texas.
Hell yeah.
We don't have a lot of time. How about just God bless Texas?
I like it.
What do you like about Texas?
It's my state.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up here. We became friends in Texas. I met both of my wives in Texas.
I love how I was before your wife's, but go ahead.
And I got rid of my wives before you. So
Well, I hope it wasn't before me, but like, I hope I'm not
we still got some time.
Hope I'm not next.
I got some time.
Okay, I got some time. Okay. God.
Bless Texas. Hopefully the heat will be coming back soon.
Oh God, no! Please no. I left Texas for 20 years. I grew up here.
Did you really leave for
It was
20 years
overall? I came back for 4 or 5
Within that 20
for
years?
A&M. I went to A&M down, and that was in a different city, so it wasn't Dallas,
Damn.
but it was down in College Station. But overall, it was 20 years minus the 4 for college, so 16 years. I was in a combination of Pittsburgh, Scotland, Maine, and Chicago.
Wow.
And I
didn't
just
realize it'd been
I
that
left.
long.
Trey and I disagree. I don't love the heat. I just don't.
Yeah.
Hate it. Texas has it. in the summertime, and it's miserable
And
for
the
me.
bugs.
And the bugs, but the bugs. I already told my Australian, I was like, I don't even like a half an inch cockroach, much less
normal size bug.
much less a 5-inch one.
Hey, 5 inches is pretty big.
So you've been told.
The bug.
That's just people telling you things, Trey. But, overall, and it's getting a little worse, and I hate that. But, we mentioned on the show, back in the day, growing up in Texas, you waved at people. You said hi. If you walked by somebody in the store and you said, hey, how you doing? Just kind of on your breath. It wasn't a weird thing.
Right.
Everywhere else I've lived, that's been a weird thing.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's getting a little bit, and I think it's because a lot of people are moving here from other places.
California, goddammit.
Yeah, California. And so I appreciate Texas, and I admire how Texas would be able to, I believe, be its own country. I really do. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that as a suggestion. I'm saying with the natural resources, the policies, the economic, whatever, the diversity. I just think that it's a state that has its shit together, in my opinion, overall. You don't have to like Abbott right now, but he's not the only guy. I mean, we can get it someone else if you don't like it. I'm just saying, as a state.
Is that Hot Wheels?
Abbott?
Yeah.
Hot Wheels?
Hot Wheels.
God, did you really call our governor Hot Wheels in his wheelchair?
I heard that reference the other day. It was pretty funny.
People are going to love it and people are going to hate it. And guess what?
That's kind of cool, Hot Wheels.
The people that hate it, we've made up for it in other areas of the show. The people that love that joke, Hot Wheels. Oh my God. The people that love that joke, come back and give us another chance.
Yeah.
You may not like everything, but you'll like that one. But I like Texas. Besides the heat, other than that, overall nice people. It's got money. It's new versus places up in other areas that are older and that take more to kind of upgrade. So that's it. God bless Texas is a trend, is an actual trending thing.
Hashtag it, damn it.
Oh, don't worry. I'm just going to hashtag every trending thing. Should I just, because we've read through them. So
Yeah,
technically I can go ahead and
I went to high school with one, junior high with the other.
what do I just hashtag this person Max Player? And so somebody like looks it up and he's like, oh, they're talking about Max Player. We're like, Max Player. We don't know him. Hashtag.
He was good. He was cool.
I'm sure it was fine.
He gave 110%.
110%. But we'll wrap it up here. I mean, my awareness, and anybody that's looking forward to an awareness of self-awareness tonight is going to get one very, very quick one. Because we both had decided we didn't have one, but I came up with one during the show.
Yeah. Oh.
I did. And it was people that decide to ruin television shows by telling too much of the plot. If anybody...
You're not going to watch it.
If anybody now... I'm not, but we have a few listeners. If anybody doesn't now all of a sudden want to watch the show, email us, and I will forward them all to Trey. And he will tell you what happened at the end so that you don't have to go
episode
through
3.
it. Because he ruined 1 and 2.
Didn't ruin shit.
But that's my awareness for tonight. People need to be aware. Really be careful with spoilers.
Okay.
I don't think he really did, but that just reminded me that that's a good one.
That is a good one, yeah.
People are like, hey, did you see that movie? At the end, it was great. And it's like, actually, no, but I was going to watch it tonight.
Or I read the book, and guess what happened?
Yeah. So that's awareness tonight. I'll end with this. I'm not going to get sappy with you, but when we started this thing 65 episodes ago, we sat here. Of course, 8 of them aren't available anymore.
You're welcome.
But we sat here. Yeah, you're welcome. We sat here and we didn't know what was going to happen. And almost a year later, we're only 10 months in with 66 episodes, and I'm pretty proud of that. and the growth. The lines are going up. The knowledge we've gained from all of this. I am so appreciative of the people that have listened, appreciative of the people who have subscribed to our YouTube channel, who have followed us on Spotify, etc., etc. But I'm most appreciative right now to my co-host.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Trey, I think that he and I have something, hopefully, that you're enjoying and something that meshes well together. He's one of the only people I know that will allow me to talk nonstop.
Not even your wife?
Without stopping me. And I think that's what you have to have some sort of a entertaining type of discussion, is that someone accepts that somebody can't shut the fuck up. And that's me, and I admit that. And maybe I'll work on that in season 3.
Yeah,
and let Trey talk 90% of the time. But we love you guys. We're very excited to go on to season 3. Unfortunately, for time's sake, because I told Trey we had a time limit, and I promised him that we'd stay under it, and if we don't stop, I'm not going to hit that. But I would love to reminisce, and maybe we'll do that early in season 3, just not season 2. We did a little bit of that on season 1, and some of the topics. I mean, we had so many great stories this season as well.
Yeah.
Some great guests. And guess what? We plan on having
more great guests.
I know I've been saying it, but they're lined up. So we have a lot coming up, and I hope you stay with us and spread the word. I think that's the big thing. Somebody said the other day, well, I got one of my friends listening. Well, do you only have one friend?
Right. I hope not.
Why don't you get that second and third, fourth friend in there, and
because we're having fun, hopefully you're having fun listening to us,
and they're all loving it. The ones that have said it, unless they're absolutely bullshitting, me, which could be true as well. So
my mom can be like that.
Our mom's at least good. My mom is either a great actress or she really likes it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with she really likes it.
Yeah.
So all I know, we'll see you next season. How about that?
Absolutely.
All right, my brother.
I'll see you soon.
I love you, and I love all you guys.
I love you too. Love everybody. Later.
Later.
I think in season 3, I'm going to do an episode without my pants.
I think we should do every episode without our pants.
I like it.
I feel like the one without my pants was my best performance. Love you guys.